Pipeliner has this concept of account parent and child relationship, and that is clearly demonstrated when you go to an account org chart view. In this particular view, we only have an account that is really not associated to any other account at the moment. So what we're going to demonstrate in this demo is the ability of DBX to import accounts and automatically associate those imported accounts to account records in Pipeliner. So let's take a look how we can do that. So first we need to create a new process, and we'll just give it a name, import account with parent. We are importing a record that is going to be the child record for the record that we just looked at, which is End User Software LLC. So we proceed by saying we need to update our account records, and we will import from a text file. Now this text file happens to only have one record for demo purposes. So we have here a company named DBX Integrations. The parent company would be End User Software LLC, which is the account record that we were looking at earlier, and it has a parent relations of headquarter to subsidiary. So let's close this and let's continue creating the process here. Let's review again our data source. It's still there, same particular data. Now we're going to map a few fields to make this work. So first, we need to map our organization name, and that we need to map that with the company field from our import file. And then we also need to map a few required fields, which is the owner field. Now notice that after clicking the owner field, I'm presented with several lookup options. I'm going to pick the last one here as my owner data. And also, we also have a sales unit option that we need to map, and I'm going to just pick company. So now let us map the fields that would allow us to tell DBX how this particular record will be associated to our existing Pipeliner account named End User Software LLC. So I'm going to pick parent account ID, and what we're going to do is to map that to an expression. And now all that we're going to do is query the Pipeliner database and say, hey, give me the ID from the accounts data where the organization matches the field data from the import file called parent company. Now parent company, in this case, it will have a value of End User Software LLC. So if I refresh this expression, we will get the ID of the parent company record in question. So we'll click OK here. The next item that we need to map is the parent account relationship type ID. So if I click this, notice that I'm also provided with drop-down options or lookup values. So I'm going to pick headquarters subsidiary. Alternatively, I could also just simply map this against parent relations. In this case, I'll just select the lookup. So now we're done mapping all the fields that will allow us to import this record. So I'm going to click on Save and Close, and we will simply run the process. So now that it's done importing the record, we will simply switch back to Pipeliner, and we'll obviously need to sync the data. So once it's completed, we can now go back to the record, go to the org chart, and notice that we now have a child record associated to End User Software called DBX Integrations.